Word up. It's the afternoon hustle with Amir Diamond on the vibe. I feel like we have family in here. Cat St. John.
What's up?
What's up? Long time. Well, we've seen each other. We've crossed paths in person, like at different events. I think we was at Carl Crawford's house the last time that I saw you.
Yes.
For Stunna Bam's release party. But we haven't had a chance to like sit down and talk in person, so I'm loving this. We finally get to catch up.
I know, because I feel like all the time it's always hustle and bustle.
Yes.
It's like always hustle and bustle.
Everybody has their own different things going on and different projects that they're working on, different events that they are working on. And then, you know, everybody's busy and we never get to really just sit down and relax. So today we get a chance to sit down.
I feel good about it.
Relax. Me too.
I feel you're always laughing.
Me too.
Like every time I talk to you, you just start laughing.
But you bring it out of me. I feel like there's something about your energy where you get me to laugh, and I just know that you're about to say something crazy or say something that I'm like, the normal person would just keep that in, but you're a free spirit. You let everything out.
And I don't even be knowing it. Like, and I guess that's why they call it free spirit, because I literally don't be knowing. Like maybe you shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
You know, I know like things that are like maybe hurtful, I shouldn't say, but some things I literally is just innocent. Like for real.
So you got a new single out. It's called Pretty.
Yes.
But you also got a lot of other things going on, like internet-wise.
Yes.
I've been watching. Is it that you have multiple shows or what? Because I've watched some of your YouTube shows, but I guess that's different from Carmen's Boot Camp.
Yes.
So what's all going on YouTube?
So on YouTube, of course, I have my own channel. I did not take YouTube serious at all, like until that first check came. Okay. So, but long story short, I was literally, so I'm a writer. Everybody knows I'm a writer, right? Everybody knows I do music and I write music. So, but I also like always have these elaborate things in my head going on. So I'm like, what if we put this on screen? And so I had got introduced to this company by a video director that owed me money because he did my video and he never gave me my video. Orbit did that. And so he was like...
Wait, that's his name?
Yes, his name is Orbit did it.
You calling him out right now?
Well, I'm not calling him out. It's just the truth. So he was supposed to do my video, edit it, and all this and that. He partially edited it, so he felt like he owed me. And the way he paid me back was, like, years later, he saw me. It was like he couldn't look me in the eye. Like, so he was like, I owe you this. And I was like, okay, well, what is it? He was like, come work with me, with these people, and, you know, you can network. So I'm like, okay, well, one thing led to the next, which, of course, it was way worth more than the actual video. So that was a blessing. So I appreciate him for that, for even, like, trying to amend that, right?
I was going to say that's real because you don't run into a lot of people who would do that in this industry.
No, but my eyes was looking at his eyes, and he knew he owed me something.
Stop it.
He's gonna walk past me without giving me something. Anyway, long story short, but anyway, he ended up like moving on, and I ended up staying there. But me, I'm very consistent. I'm very dedicated. So if I start something, I don't just quit. So now I'm staying there. So now they're asking me like for ideas because they're noticing that during meetings that I'm saying some creative things. So finally it was like, well, hey, you want to be a writer on Carmen's Boot Camp? So I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. So the role that I play, they didn't want to go find nobody to play that role. And I was like, because, you know, when I'm writing it, like I like how I'm like dramatic. So I'm acting out. I'm like, and then the major needs to come out and be like, da 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 da, like, you know, like my type personality, right? So in my mind, like I'm thinking that they looking at me like, now mind you, I work a lot behind the scenes with them as well as a director and a producer. So behind the scenes, I'm like, if y'all don't get y'all out this room, da 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 da, like real life, no, not being on camera. So they was like, can you bring what you do behind camera like to the scene? And I was like, no, I don't want nobody to like know me like that. Like, I don't want nobody to look at me like I'm a bad person because this is how I talk, like whatever, whatnot. So then long story short, we couldn't find anybody. And they was like, Kat, you got to do it. And I'm like, can we just interview people, please? Like, and we just couldn't find nobody. And I was like, okay, Carmen, I'm going to do it for you. So that's how I ended up on YouTube. Now, here's the thing. I'm not familiar. At that time, I wasn't familiar with like YouTube, the money or the audience or anything like that. So as I'm watching the videos, I'm not really watching all of them. Let me stop lying. I ain't really watch all of them. But as the videos are going on, these girls are doing reaction videos to it, which I guess that's a part of, YouTube. I'm not doing anything. It's like episode 10, episode 11, 12. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not capitalizing on it because I don't know how to capitalize on it. And my mind isn't even thinking of that. I'm thinking about, music in this little box. So then after that happens, there was the reunion that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Off of camera, I said, you bees are boring. It is embarrassing to be on a show and y'all got all this petty drama behind the scenes. Y'all need to put that on camera because this is boring and like basically you do the most. I don't care if you got to pinch somebody, scratch somebody, throw a shoe. I don't care what you got to do. Pump this up. Well, that was behind the camera that I said that because I was frustrated, right? And also I'm a part of a writer on the show. So to me, it's like my work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, we didn't write anything for them to say. We wrote scenarios like, okay, today you're going to run up on a bug. So today we're going to have bugs in a bucket. Like that's the type of stuff I was writing, not scripts.
Mm-hmm.
So long story short, the girls, they do a reaction video. So they couldn't handle the heat. So on this video, they was like, when I said act the fool, in their mind, they took it as fight. So now the girls that was acting innocent the whole entire show, now they want to act big and bad. So now the audience is like against them. Like, y'all are some cowards. Y'all are scary. Y'all are this and that. So then everybody was against them. And then boom, all the girls turn on me and they do reaction videos like, Miss Cat was the one that told us to act like this. Miss Cat was the one that told us to throw a shoe into da-da-da-da-da. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
Like, first off, this is production talk. You don't talk about that. Second off, now I got to grab my BALLS and get on camera and explain what happened. So I ain't gonna lie. I told them girls to act a fool. I told them make it go viral and do the most because it's boring. So that's how I ended up blowing up on that one episode on YouTube.
So that was Carmen's boot camp. But
That was Carmen's
I heard
boot
you
camp.
say something. Did you say Carmen's Click?
So Carmen's Click is out now. That's a new episode. So
okay.
Last night I started trending because, again, I can kind of I forget the camera's there, right?
Sure you do.
They
sure you do.
They brought one of the girls back. They brought one of the girls back while I'm on the phone with my son. Right? My son is everything to me. Like, I'm very close to my son. I'm on the phone with my son. Mind you, nobody said action. Nobody said, like, let's go, we getting ready to film or nothing. They just said, Cat, somebody's downstairs for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, cool. So I go downstairs. I see the girl that I had already eliminated. She downstairs in the house. Like, in my mind, I'm thinking intruder. I'm thinking knock her out. I'm thinking like stalker. I'm thinking like scary things in my mind. Like, how did you get here? How did you know we was at this house? And then I'm also thinking like, who betrayed me? Who like said she could come back?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it ain't even my show, and I have that vibe. Like, who said she could come back? But anyway, long story short, I'm looking at Carmen. I'm looking at the producers behind the scene, Ebony, which is one of the directors, one of the owners of the company. I'm looking at them like, did y'all set this up, like, for TV purposes? So instantly I go psychopath. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry, y'all, but I went psycho. And when I tell you, like, my veins come out my forehead, I didn't even know I had veins come out my forehead. They say when you get older, your veins start popping out. And them veins was popping out. They was trying to grab somebody. Okay, I have veins coming out my neck. I ain't have no makeup on, so I look a hot mess. Now, I'm screaming. I'm talking about get it back in blood. Like, why would I say that? Like, I'm so ashamed of myself. So I'm saying all this stuff. I done blanked out on the girl, and it was a prank the whole time. I couldn't look the girl in the face. I couldn't look her in the face. I was trying to get to her at her neck, and it was just a mess. And then eventually I ended up going into like a situation where I was like, I just started crying. And I told them like I was ashamed. And then not only that, but like what they're doing at Carmen's Click, like they have an advantage, because I was telling them about the days when I used to stand at the DJ booth begging the DJ to play my record, like, and getting a bunch of no's. I got tore down so many times to where it just, for me, music is not fun anymore. And I told them like how I'm still trying to make it. I'm still trying to be somebody bigger than what I am right now. So I was telling them that y'all have it easy. So right now, when I look at stuff, I'm very territorial about my success, about what I'm doing, about how I run myself, how I walk through life. So that got really emotional, and that part right there, like, was trending on YouTube last night. So, because they got to see, like, me, like, really break down, and they're used to seeing, like, this hardcore, non-emotional, like, talking SHIT girl. So they got to see the woman in me that was, like, crying, like, breaking down, like, listen, it's no joke, y'all. Like, y'all got it easy. Y'all don't know how easy you got it.
When you were talking about the girls of Carmen's boot camp and how they needed to turn up, it reminded me of when you were a part of Love and Hip Hop Houston.
Oh, yeah.
Child,
I made it turn up.
If y'all were there one of those last days of filming, it got crazy.
Yes. I think I specialize in pushing buttons, like, because I grew up with 10 brothers and sisters. So I be quiet. I don't say anything to anybody. I don't go out my way to start anything. But when you have a producer that's telling you over and over and over again, like, Just Brittany is talking about you. Just Brittany is talking about you. She's dogging you out. And I'm keep on saying, no, but we cool. We cool. No, we cool. And then they show you proof. Okay, I'm finna push a button. That's how I felt in my mind. Like, I'm finna push a button in. And I know, like, the producers, like, they put us in positions that we would never be in. I would never be in a room with somebody that I don't mess with. I would never be sitting in the couch talking to somebody I don't mess with.
But I feel like you would have been in that position because at one point, wasn't Johnny Blaze and Just Brittany cool?
Yeah, Johnny Blaze and Just Brittany was cool. They're cool now, right now, from what I know of.
Okay, so, well, are you cool with Johnny Blaze?
I don't know what happened with Johnny Blaze. It's like we just kind of, like, stopped talking. I don't know. Nothing ever happened. Like, we never fell out. It was never no drama, no nothing. It was just, I think, like we said, as you get older, your career, you get more deep into your career, and then some people you just lose communication with. So I feel like at this point in my life with Johnny Blaze, like, she's an amazing person, and I feel like it's just a lot of work. It's always hustle and bustle. And at some point, you have to stop always being behind the scenes of everybody and pumping everybody up. Because I think that was my role in a lot of my friends' life, pumping them up and me not getting it back.
So what do you think was a downfall behind Love and Hip Hop Houston? Because I feel like this could have been one moment that could have, like, let people know how dope Houston is, which people are still starting to find that out. But do you think because y'all got too turned up, not necessarily you, but I feel like maybe it was the fellas who got too turned up?
I don't think we'll ever know, because it's like, you look at Love and Hip Hop, it's catastrophe. It's catastrophe. Every time they film, and it's somebody fighting or whatever, whatnot. So I can't say it was that. Was there threats? Probably so. There was rumors of threats. There was rumors of people that didn't get picked that was threatening. People who wasn't getting the spotlight was getting a little jealous and saying things or whatever, whatnot. So I mean, I don't think we will ever know the truth. But I do feel like when you are in a situation where you feel like, you know what, we can come over here, but I feel like we don't have any control. Why would you want to film those people if you feel like you have absolutely no control over anything? It's like most of the people that are on TV, they know when to cut. They know when to turn it on, turn it off. Some people think,
we don't.
Yeah, I feel like when you've
part.
never been on camera and you don't know, like, this is for TV, you don't know when to stop. See, I knew in my mind that when they asked me to perform the record I performed, I knew what it was gonna cause. But I also knew that I know when to stop. You see what I'm saying? So some people took that and took it off of camera and took it personal.
So, okay, since you brought that up, explain for the people who weren't there what happened on that day when you performed the song that you're talking about.
So one of the producers came to me and was like, hey, these ladies are performing records. I want all 4 of y'all to perform records.
Which was you,
me,
Johnny Blaze,
Just Brittany, and Nessa Carey.
Necessary.
Yeah, so we all 4 of us had to perform, right? So, which was amazing. And I thought the show was going to be dope. So everybody's performing their record. And the record they performing, Johnny Blaze performs, amazing record. And Just Brittany starts performing, like, Bow Down and all this and that. And I was just like, so me and my people looked to the left, like we had this whole thing where we looked to the left, like, so we just kind of was like, we're not even paying attention. that kind of maybe ruffled some feathers, which I really don't care. I don't have to listen to anybody perform. So long story short, after that happened, I performed. So the producers ask me. I don't say, I want to perform such and such. They ask me, are you willing to perform this record? Now, at first, I was like, I'm not going to do all of that. because one thing I don't do, I don't start mess. I end it, okay? Now, mind you, I done saw video footage of you talking about me. You done said that my man done try to sleep with you and all this other type of stuff, thinking that it was cute. So long story short, I was like, okay, let's go. We in front of everybody. I said, mind you, back in the day, she had told everybody that I had took the record off of radio, like I had some power. So like I pulled the record or something.
So it's a record that you wrote?
I wrote the record. I did the backup vocals and the intro. All of that was my vocals.
But it was Just Brittany's record. You wrote it for Just Brittany.
I wrote it for myself, but Just Brittany at that moment, I'm a businesswoman. Just Brittany at that moment had light on her. She needed a record. I didn't mind selling her a record because I'm a businesswoman. Mm-hmm. I don't have to be in front of the camera. There's nothing in me that says you got to be seen. This is why I know how to play the behind the scenes role so good, because I'm okay with helping and assisting as well. I don't always have to be the main attraction. So in this case, as a businesswoman, you have this young, beautiful lady that needs a record. I'm like, boom, give her this record. This is the record for her. She needs this record. This record is going to make her do good. Mm-hmm. So we give her the record. Long story short, there was a situation. Now, there's a difference between purchasing a record and leasing a record. It was a leased record. When you lease a record, it's for your label to put money behind you and for you to kind of do what you need to do to kind of get your deal or kind of get your money, do whatever you need to do. And it's a certain time frame. Mm-hmm. It was a 6-month time frame. Long story short, I had people that was over me that was a part of the record. Mind you, I'm young at this time. I'm coming back and forth from college at this time, trying to make moves for myself. I have no power. So for some reason, it was all put on me that the record was pulled. These people, I'm working with grown men. I'm talking about N.O. Joe, super producer T.A. I'm talking about Chris, whatever his name is, whatever they call him, but his name is Chris, mm-hmm. which was the manager. So I have all these people that's over me that are grown men that I don't know. I just did one record with them. Now, mind you, I don't know nobody at the radio station to call them to tell them, hey, 97.9, take the record off. I don't have that power. So, but it was all blamed on me because the guy who was over everything felt like he was being played. Gotcha. And that's not if you didn't pay somebody to be in the studio, if you didn't pay somebody for the record, if you didn't pay somebody for this and that. Now, me personally, I got paid $650 for me to lease the record because me and TA both, we split it $1,200. So when me and TA split it was like $1,275, I think. Me and TA split it that. At that moment, I was going through a lot in life that had absolutely nothing to do with music. You know what I mean? So in that moment, I used that $650 to pay my bills. Mm-hmm. So now this is a lease record. This is not a bought record. So from there, whatever happened, I ended up getting the backlash from it. And from there, that grudge has been held against me forever. So I'm thinking it's cool because eventually I ended up talking to her. I felt like we was cool. Mm-hmm. Then after that happened, it was a situation where we get to the Love and Hip Hop thing. Now, mind you, while we at the Love and Hip Hop thing, I'm saying, oh, no, we cool, we good. Nah, that's my girl, we good. Now, meaning not my girl like my friend or anything like that. Meaning that for me, when I say that, we don't have no beef. I'm not going to create no beef. I'm not going to refurbish or reignite anything in this moment. And they say, oh, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, we good. Are you sure about that? So I'm like, So they start showing me videos of the young lady talking about me. Not just her, one of the other cast members too, talking about me. And I'm shocked, dang. I'm keeping it all the way 100. It ain't no reason for me to talk about you. It ain't no reason for me to dog you out. But your mind keep on making you believe that this is happening. Mm-hmm. So now that you think this is happening, I'm the type of person I'm going to do it in front of everybody. So then I said, yeah, it was rumored. This is what I said in front of B. King, Kurt Cobain, all these people. I'm saying in front of this whole crowd of people, it was rumored that I took this record from this person, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't do that. But today, I'm taking this record back in front of everybody. And then that's when I did the performance of Slumber Party.
Okay, so my question is, we're going to take a break in just a second, but my question is, if it's the producers who make you feel that way, do you think that there can be some type of resolve between y'all?
Well, the thing is, it's resolved now because I have no issues with anybody. That was a long time ago. It's just re-talking about the story. It brings up emotions.
Got you.
This is why I don't like to relive stuff, because I feel like what's in the past is in the past. You see what I'm saying? And it was old. It's just when you reliving it, it's like, it gets intense. But, I'm not the type of person to say, let's make amends if there was never an amends already made. I'm not the type of person to say, well, let's sit down and talk when we never talked like that before, except for about music. What am I really going to sit down and talk to you about and fix what?
I got you.
We are not friends. So because we are not friends, I don't have nothing to fix with you. As long as I know that there's a mutual respect, that's all that matters. I have nothing against any of the females. I have nothing against her. This is just a story I'm telling that happened a long time ago. My side of the story. Their side of the story may be more detailed than mine because I don't know what their side of the story is that made them feel the way they felt. What I can say is that me performing that record, it was out of retaliation from what I saw. Because I was originally going to sing another record, which was my single at the time, Get Shot. So, Get Shot was a record I felt like was my hottest record. So, but I guess the producers had already kind of veered everybody into doing records that will bash the other artists. And I didn't realize that until the end. So, because the bow down and all this and that, and looking at me talking about bow down and we beneath you, this and that, that was probably pumped up by, producers saying like, hey, you might need to perform. This is the record you need to perform. And when you're performing it, look straight in Cat St. John's eye.
Well, let's talk about another record that you got out right now. It's called Pretty.
Get your pretty up. Get your pretty up. Hey.
Let's switch the vibe up right now and get into this Pretty by Cat St. John in the Afternoon Hustle with Amir Diamond on the Vibe.